Good morning, beloveds. I don't. Okay. Um, I don't know when I decided to start archiving these to YouTube. And I started archiving them to YouTube because I realized that I had something to say. And Bill Birch was my first YouTube subscriber. Now, don't get me wrong, I have like 10 YouTube subscribers. But he was the first. And he was so excited to be my first YouTube subscriber. And he would occasionally send me emails telling me, what he thought about what I said, or, saying thank you for, because sometimes, I don't shy away from what's going on in the world when I do these, because it informs the way I do these. And yeah, he was my first YouTube subscriber, and he passed yesterday. And so I'm really sad because he was wonderful and loving, and he played the violin by ear, and he did fun poems, and he composed music. And so I'm sad that he's gone. But I know that he is out of pain, and I know that he's out of pain both from the cancer and because he's with Marty again. He's with his wife again. And so I can't not, I mean, that's the beautiful thing about grief. It's a double-edged sword. In some ways, we had this amazing person in our lives for, however much time each of us knew him. And he's gone. So it's one of the things that I've heard, and I think I'm starting to feel it, is that the depth of your grief is a sign that you loved. So when you're sad that somebody is no longer with you, it means you really loved. And it's a good thing. And yes, it hurts. And yes, it will come and it will go. And we will ride through it. But yeah. And at this point, all we can say is Godspeed, Bill Birch. We know that you're with Marty again. And that does help. So now I am going to do what Bill Birch more than once has emailed me about. I'm going to do my job. I'm going to do the 365 Days of Richer Living, and I haven't even looked at the title, so we're going to see what this looks like. So I just wanted y'all to know that that's what's going on in my world today. All right. So, hang on, I'm going to take a minute to compose myself. Never be afraid to cry on camera. It's actually a sign of strength to be willing to share your grief. All right. Today is May 13th, 2021. And our title is Today I Acknowledge the Outpouring of the Spirit Everywhere. And our Bible quote is, God so loved the world that he gave. John 3:16. How could we better explain this than to use the words of Browning, where he said, "'Tis thou, God, who giveth, 'tis I who receive," or Emerson, who said that we are beneficiaries of the divine fact. The thoughts of both Emerson and Browning were thoughts of acceptance and recognition. Like all men of great spirit, spiritual insight, they knew that the gift of life is an eternal reality, that it is our office to accept it. God so loved the world that he gave. Today, I accept this gift of divine love, which God has eternally given to me and to everyone. With deep gratitude and a childlike simplicity, I enter into the joy and peace which comes from the realization of divine guidance. I know that love guides my thoughts, even as it guards my life and action. I know that the eternal presence is really embracing everything. In this presence, I serenely and confidently rest, placing all my hope and aspiration in its loving care. In this love, I embrace the world and affirm that peace shall come on earth and goodwill among men. I also realize that I belong to the universe in which I live, and it belongs to me. It is the gift of God. I am one with everyone I shall meet, and they are one with me, for we all are manifestations of the one divine presence. Gratefully acknowledging and gladly receiving this benediction from heaven, I live and love and accept life in its fullness. God so loved that he gave. I accept the gift. All right. So, I'm sure I have thoughts. I do love that when they put the Bible quote on there, that they didn't finish that. God so loved the world that he gave. Because I would say that that's kind of a keystone of what Science of Mind believes. That God is love. And in that love, God gives. God gives absolutely everything. And it is our job to accept. It is our job to receive. And it is our job to let flow through. So the title being, Today I Acknowledge the Outpouring of Spirit Everywhere. I'm recognizing that Spirit is in me and flows through me. I recognize that Spirit is in you and flows through you. I recognize that everywhere I look, Spirit is. There's nowhere Spirit is not. There's nowhere God is not. So, and then Ernest or Raymond, because it doesn't say who wrote it. They collaborated on it. They quote poets, Emerson and Browning. How could we better explain this than to use the words of Browning? How could we better explain love than with poetry? Poetry is a beautiful way to express things in our heart, because with poetry we paint pictures. We paint pictures in our mind. Bill painted amazing pictures with some of his poems. So how could we better explain this than to use the words of Browning, where he said, "'Tis thou, God, who giveth, 'tis I who receive." That's the relationship. And how do we give to God but by receiving what God gives to us? And passing it on, allowing it to flow through us. Or Emerson, who said, we are the beneficiaries of the divine fact. Not the divine idea, the divine fact. Emerson. The thoughts of both Emerson and Browning were thoughts of acceptance and recognition. I recognize that there is one power. I am a part of that power. That power flows through me. I recognize that there is one power. You are a part of that power. We all carry that divine spark, that divine splinter, making us part of something so much bigger. And it's amazing to know that I'm a part of this, and that each and every godling is a part of this too. That together we make this amazing whole. Like all men of great spiritual insight, they knew that the gift of life is an eternal reality, that it is our office to accept it. God so loved the world that he gave. Today, I accept this gift of divine love, which God has eternally given to me and everyone else. God gives this gift to everyone, and God does not know time. So God has always given this gift of love. God will always give this gift of love. There is never going to be a time that God doesn't, because God isn't bound by time. Right now, right here, we are bound by time, but there will be a time that we won't. With deep gratitude and a childlike simplicity. What does that mean? A childlike simplicity. It means faith. It means trust. It means that time when you were a small child, when you were going somewhere and a trusted, loving adult put their hand out and you put your hand in there and trusted them to get you where you were going. That is a childlike simplicity, and that's what we're asked to do. I enter into the joy and peace which comes from the realization of divine guidance. I trust. I like to say that faith is imagination plus trust. I know that love guides my thoughts even as it guards my life and action. If we do things in love, divine love, not egoic love, but divine love, we can't do it wrong. We can't do it wrong. Because we will be guided from on high. We will be guided from within. I know that the eternal presence is really embracing everything. In this presence, I serenely and confidently rest, placing all my hope and aspiration in its loving care. Because we are allowed to set aside our burdens, we are allowed to set aside the things that we are doing into that divine and know that it is being carried on. And that we will carry on because we are getting the energy to carry on from a source that is inexhaustible and from a source that never says no. Never says no. In this love, I embrace the world and affirm that peace shall come on earth and goodwill among men, goodwill among people. And I have to believe this. I have to believe this. It's up to you whether you choose to believe it, but I have to believe this. This is the world that I want to live in. And if I live in this world and I believe in this world, then it can't help but become reality. And the more real I make it for myself, the more real I help to make it for everybody else. That's my part. That's my part. I also realize that I belong to the universe in which I live, and it belongs to me. I have responsibilities, and I have rights, and I have an amazing gift. And I like the word stewardship. It's like I belong to the universe, and the universe belongs to me, and I get to take care of it in my own way, just as you get to take care of it in your own way. It is the gift of God. Say that to yourself. When you open your eyes and look around at the world, it is a gift. It is the gift of God. Are we taking care of it the way we should? Because it's a gift from God. I am one with everyone I shall ever meet, and they are one with me. For we are all manifestations of the one divine presence. The one divine presence. We're all brothers and sisters in spirit. We're all siblings in spirit. We're all children of God. We're all godlings growing up from the one divine source. Gratefully acknowledging and gladly receiving this benediction from heaven, I live and love and accept life in its fullness. God so loved that he gave. I accept the gift. So our mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to accept the gift. The gift of life, the gift of beauty, the gift of each other, the gift of the world, the gift of being able to go out and do, being able to go out and love, being able to go out and be. That is the reminder we are human beings, not necessarily human doings. We're allowed to rest. So, yeah, that's the mission. The mission is to accept the gift of God. And you get to decide what that is. Nobody gets to tell you what your gift from God is outside of the world. So I'm going to move into the process of my day, and I'm going to encourage you to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself. I ask every day, because I believe it is important. Compassion starts right where you are. If you can practice compassion on yourself, the loving kindness on yourself, then you will have more to share with everyone else. You're a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased. You deserve your own loving, kind compassion. Always. It actually is a really nice day here. I don't know if we're going to see the sun, but the temperature out there is really nice. I would encourage you to do something to engage your mind and your body. Go for a walk, open your windows, get some fresh air. Go enjoy something beautiful. And I would say, in honor of Bill, go and enjoy some amazing violin music. Or you could say fiddle. I'm not sure if he said both, because depending on how he played the violin and he played the fiddle. So whatever makes you happy today. But please open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you you do live in heaven now. It is up to us to see that. It is up to us to see that gift. And the more we see, the more we look, the more we see, the more we see, the more there is. And that's how we make a world that works for everybody. By seeing the good, by praising the good, by taking a page out of Emma's book and looking for the good and praising it. All right, beloveds. It's Thursday. It's Thursday. Okay, so Reverend David will be on Facebook Live with you around 5 p.m. I believe at 7 p.m. Central Time on Thursday is the Telebridge call with the practitioners John and Marissa. So if you're interested in that, email info@creativelife.org. And I will be back on Facebook Live with you at 9 a.m. And as always, these talks are archived on the Running Rev Ryan YouTube channel. So you're more than welcome to go look up anything in the past year. I think I'm missing a week. I'm still missing a week in October, but I'll get it. So yeah, and feel free to subscribe. I post them there pretty much every day. So if you have over a year's worth of material to go look, do what you need to do to make it a wonderful day, to make it a fantastic day, to make it the best day ever. Or at least the best that you can, because I understand. I'm there too. But know that you are loved. Know that you are loved. All right, beloveds, have a wonderful day.